I don't want to blindside you, but we have some breaking news coming in right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Trump's youngest son, Barron, apparently now will not be a delegate at the RNC this summer. Barron has come up quite a bit during this trial, and he is apparently declining to go forward. Any idea, any insight into this?
Wednesday, elected as delegate at large, getting a statement in from Melania Trump with regards to him dropping out and saying, and I quote, "While Barron is honored to have been chosen as a delegate by the Florida Republican Party, he regretfully declines to participate."
Okay, so I need you to stop what you're doing for a second, because if you have been anywhere near social media in the last 48 hours, then you have probably seen the headlines. You have probably seen the clips. You have probably seen people losing their minds in the comments, saying things like Barron Trump just destroyed AOC in a Senate hearing, or the courtroom went silent when Barron dropped this bombshell. And look, I get it. I really do. Because when you see a headline like that, when you see a thumbnail of Barron Trump standing there looking all serious and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez supposedly speechless, yeah, you are going to click. Of course you are going to click. That is the whole point of these videos, and that is exactly what the people making them are counting on. But before we go any further, real quick, let's be honest. You can't really trust mainstream media anymore. That's why we built Pump Politics, to bring you real stories, real context, and no corporate spin. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, join our free newsletter. We'll send the news straight to your inbox every day. Just click the link in the description to join. And if you just want to support what we're doing, join us, be part of the community that actually cares about the truth. All right. Let's get back to the video.
Tom, Don Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle, who is Don Jr.'s fiance, Eric Trump as well, along with Tiffany Trump, her husband, all serving as delegates at large in Florida to elect the former president of the United States in his run-up to re-election as the Republican presumptive nominee for president.
Yeah, you wonder if his mom stepped in and said, no, I don't want my 18-year-old kid doing this, at least not yet.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. It did not happen. None of it happened. There was no Senate hearing. There was no showdown. There was no courtroom. There was no bombshell revelation. There was no moment where AOC got destroyed or humiliated or whatever word they are using this week. It is completely made up. Totally fabricated, 100% fake. And I know some of you are sitting there right now going, come on, that cannot be right, because you saw the video, you saw the quotes, you saw thousands of people in the comments talking about it like it was real. But that is exactly what we need to talk about today, because this is not just some random internet thing, because this is not just some random internet hoax. This is not just some silly meme that got out of hand. This is something way bigger, way more dangerous, and way more calculated than most people realize. We are living in an era, and I am not being dramatic here, we are living in an era where completely fake political events can go viral faster than real news, where AI-generated content and click farm operations can create entire storylines out of thin air, where millions of people will believe something happened even when there is zero evidence it ever did. And Barron Trump, the president's youngest son, has become ground zero for this whole thing. Think about that for a second. This is a 19-year-old kid, a college student, someone who has never held political office, never given a political speech, never testified before Congress, never done any of the things these viral videos claim he has done. And yet, there are entire Facebook pages and YouTube channels dedicated to pumping out fake stories about him destroying Democrats in hearings that never happened. Fake quotes, fake dialogue, fake audience reactions, all of it designed to get you to click, to share, to engage, and to believe something that is not true. Are you kidding me? This is wild. And here's what really gets me. Here's what really makes my blood boil about this whole situation. It is working. These fake stories are getting millions of views, millions of shares, millions of comments from people who genuinely think they are watching real footage of real events. Snopes had to put out a fact check. The Hindustan Times had to put out a fact check. Yahoo News had to put out a fact check. Multiple major outlets all saying the same thing. This viral Barron Trump versus AOC Senate showdown never happened. But by the time the fact checks come out, it is too late. The damage is done. The story has already spread. The narrative has already been set. And that right there is exactly why this matters. Because we are not even in an election year yet. We are still over a year away from the 2026 midterms. And already we are seeing how easy it is for completely fabricated political content to dominate the conversation. So today, we are going to break this whole thing down. We are going to look at where these fake stories are coming from, who is behind them, why they are targeting Barron Trump specifically, and what it means for the future of political discourse in this country. Because if you think this is just about one fake video, if you think this is just about Barron Trump, you are missing the bigger picture. This is about truth. This is about reality. This is about whether we can even trust what we see with our own eyes anymore. And yeah, that sounds dramatic. But stick with me here, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why this story is so much bigger than one viral hoax. We are going to expose the whole operation. We are going to name names. We are going to show you exactly how this fake content machine works. And trust me, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let us get into it. All right, so let us actually break down what happened here, because the details matter, the specifics matter, and once you see how this whole thing works, you are never going to look at viral political content the same way again. So sometime in the last week or so, videos and posts started circulating on Facebook and YouTube and other platforms claiming that Barron Trump had some kind of dramatic confrontation with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez during a Senate hearing. Now, right off the bat, that should raise some red flags, because like Barron Trump is not a senator, he is not a congressman, he is not a government official of any kind, he is a college student, so why would he be testifying at a Senate hearing in the first place? But here's the thing about viral content. People do not stop to think about that stuff. They see the thumbnail, they see the headline, they see Barron Trump destroys AOC, and they click. And once they click, they are already emotionally invested in what they are watching. The videos themselves, and I have looked at several of them, they are basically like fan fiction. They have fake dialogue, fake quotes, dramatic narration describing this supposed showdown. Some of them even have what looks like AI-generated imagery or heavily manipulated footage. And the quotes they are putting in Barron's mouth, come on, they are written like something out of a movie. This teenager supposedly delivering these devastating one-liners that leave AOC speechless and the entire room silent. Yeah, no, that is not how real life works. That is not how Senate hearings work. That is not how anything works. But the people making this content, they know what they are doing. They know exactly which buttons to push. They know that conservatives who do not like AOC are going to love seeing her humiliated. They know that people who support Trump are going to love seeing his son portrayed as some kind of political genius. It is engagement bait, pure and simple. And it is coming from some really sketchy sources that most people have never even heard of. When fact checkers traced these stories back, they found they were originating from what they call low credibility Facebook pages and rebranded local news channels. These are not legitimate news organizations. These are content farms, operations designed to pump out viral garbage and collect ad revenue. Some of these pages have been caught before, doing the exact same thing with other political figures. They create fake scenarios, fake confrontations, fake dramatic moments, and then they watch the engagement numbers go up. And social media algorithms, they love this stuff. They reward engagement. They do not care if something is true or false. They just care if people are clicking and commenting and sharing. So these fake Barron Trump videos get pushed out to millions of people, and by the time anyone stops to ask, wait, did this actually happen? It is already everywhere. The genie is out of the bottle. The story has taken on a life of its own. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because while all these fake stories are going viral, actual footage of Barron Trump doing completely normal things is also going viral. Just this week, there was video of Barron arriving at Mar-a-Lago with his father for Thanksgiving. That is it. That is the whole video. Him walking, getting out of a car, standing next to his dad. And it got millions of views. People were commenting things like, now you know why he wants a taller ballroom, because Barron is like really tall. The kid is reportedly around 6'9", which yeah, that is tall. That is really tall, actually. But the point is, even mundane, boring footage of Barron Trump generates massive attention. He has become this almost mythical figure online, this mysterious character that people project all kinds of fantasies onto. And that is what makes him such a perfect target for fake content, because there is already this huge appetite for Barron Trump content. People want to know about him. They want to see him. They want to hear him speak. And since he does not have any public social media, since he does not do interviews, since he basically stays completely out of the spotlight, that creates a vacuum. And fake content fills that vacuum. If there is no real Barron Trump content to consume, well, someone is going to make some up. And that is exactly what is happening. This is the same pattern we have seen before, by the way. Back in 2024, Reuters had to fact-check a fake quote that was supposedly from Barron about earning respect as an 18-year-old. Completely made up. Never said it. But it went viral anyway. And before that, there were fake stories about what colleges he was applying to. Fake stories about his political views. Fake stories about conversations he supposedly had with his father. This has been going on for years, and it is only getting worse, because now we have AI tools that can generate realistic looking images and videos. We have voice cloning technology. We have the ability to create fake content that looks and sounds way more convincing than anything we have seen before. And we are heading into the 2026 election cycle. Think about what that means. If fake stories about Barron Trump confronting AOC can go viral today, what happens when we are in the heat of a midterm campaign? What happens when the stakes are even higher? When the emotions are even more intense? We are going to see an absolute flood of this stuff. Fake debates, fake confrontations, fake scandals, fake everything. And here's the really scary part. A lot of people will not care if it is real or not. I have seen comments on these fake Barron videos where people literally say things like, "I do not care if it is fake, it is what should happen." Or even if this did not happen, it is basically true. Can you believe that? That is a problem. That is a huge problem. Because once we reach a point where people are okay with consuming fake content, as long as it confirms what they already believe, we have lost something really important. We have lost the ability to have shared facts, shared reality, a common understanding of what is actually happening in the world. And I am not saying this to be preachy. I am not saying this to lecture anyone. I am saying this because it affects all of us, regardless of your political views, regardless of who you support. When fake content dominates the conversation, when made-up stories spread faster than truth, everyone loses, because eventually you will not be able to trust anything you see, and that is not a world any of us should want to live in. The misinformation machine does not care about left or right. It does not care about Republican or Democrat. It cares about clicks. It cares about engagement. It cares about money. And right now, Barron Trump is a goldmine for these operations. His name generates interest. His mystery generates curiosity. And that curiosity gets exploited by people who have zero interest in telling the truth about anything. Okay, so let us break this down into what you actually need to know, because there is a lot here. And I want to make sure we are all on the same page about what is really going on. Point number one. This specific viral story is completely fake. There was no Senate hearing where Barron Trump confronted AOC. There was no courtroom. There was no bombshell revelation. Multiple fact-checking organizations have confirmed this. Snopes, Hindustan Times, Yahoo News, all of them saying the same thing. This never happened. The quote you saw, fake. The dialogue, fake. The dramatic reactions, fake. All of it. If you shared one of these videos, if you commented on one, if you believed it was real, you are not alone. Millions of people did. That is how effective this content is. That is how good these content farms have gotten at creating believable fake scenarios. But now you know, and knowing is important. Knowing is the first step toward not falling for it again. Point number two. This is part of a much bigger pattern. Barron Trump has become a magnet for fake content because he is famous but private, because there is huge interest in him but very little real information. That combination creates the perfect conditions for fabricated stories to spread. And it is not just Barron. This is happening with political figures across the board. Fake quotes, fake videos, fake confrontations. It is an entire industry at this point. A whole ecosystem of content farms and clickbait operations that have figured out how to monetize political outrage. They do not care about truth. They care about engagement. And nothing drives engagement like a story about a political figure being destroyed or humiliated or left speechless. These operations know exactly what they are doing. They have studied the algorithms. They have tested different headlines. They have figured out which thumbnails get the most clicks. This is a science to them, a business model. And we are the product. Our attention, our engagement, our willingness to believe what we want to believe. Point number three, we are heading into dangerous territory with AI and misinformation. The technology to create convincing fake content is only getting better and cheaper and more accessible. Right now, someone with basic tools can create a fake video that looks pretty convincing. In a year or two, it is going to be even easier, even more realistic, even harder to detect. And our institutions, our fact checkers, our media literacy, we are not keeping up. We are not prepared for what is coming. The 2026 midterms are going to be a test case. We are going to see unprecedented levels of fake content, fake ads, fake news stories, fake everything. And the question is, are we ready for it? Do we have the tools and the awareness to sort through what is real and what is not? Based on what we are seeing with these Barron Trump videos, I am not sure we do. I am really not sure we do. And that should concern all of us, regardless of which side of the political aisle we sit on. Point number four, there is a real conversation to be had about kids and political crossfire. Look, Barron Trump is technically an adult now. He is 19. He is in college, but he is still the president's son. He is still someone who never chose to be in the public eye. He never asked for any of this attention. And there is something kind of gross about the way content creators, from all political perspectives, have turned him into a character, a prop, a vessel for whatever narrative they want to push. Back in 2019, a professor made a comment about Barron during impeachment testimony and had to apologize for it. There was this whole debate about whether political kids should be off limits. And yet here we are, years later, with entire content operations dedicated to putting fake words in this kid's mouth, creating fake scenarios where he is doing and saying things he never did. That is not political commentary. That is not satire. That is just fabrication. Using a real person to sell a fake story? And maybe we should think about what that means, what kind of precedent it sets, what it says about our political culture. Point number 5, the platforms are not going to save us. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. None of them are going to solve this problem for us. Their algorithms reward engagement, not accuracy. And fake outrage content is incredibly engaging. It gets clicks, it gets shares, it gets comments. It keeps people on the platform. From the platform's perspective, fake viral content is good for business. As long as people are engaging, they do not really care if what they are engaging with is true. Sure, they will take down the most egregious stuff eventually, but by then, the damage is done. The story has already spread. The lie has already reached millions of people. Fact checkers can only do so much. By the time they debunk something, it is already everywhere. The correction never spreads as fast as the lie. It is like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. Once it is out there, you cannot take it back. So, where does this leave us? Honestly, in a pretty challenging spot. The fake content is not going away. If anything, it is going to get more sophisticated, more convincing, more widespread. So what can we do? First, we got to be more skeptical. When you see a video claiming something dramatic happened, especially something political, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, is there any other source reporting this? Does this seem realistic? Where did this come from? If you can only find the story on random Facebook pages and sketchy YouTube channels, that is a red flag. If no mainstream outlet is covering it, that is a red flag. If it seems too perfect, too dramatic, too much like something out of a movie, that is a red flag. Second, we gotta stop sharing stuff we have not verified. I know it is tempting. I know when you see something that confirms what you already believe, you want to hit that share button immediately. But that is exactly how misinformation spreads. We are the algorithm. Our shares and clicks determine what goes viral. Every time you share something without checking if it is real, you are potentially spreading a lie to everyone you know. And that lie spreads to everyone they know. And on and on. Third, we gotta have these conversations. We gotta talk about this stuff with our friends and family, because the more people understand how fake content works, the harder it is for it to succeed. Media literacy is not just for schools, it is for all of us. We all need to get better at recognizing manipulation when we see it. Look, I am not naive. I know most people are not going to suddenly become fact-checking experts overnight. I know viral lies are always going to spread faster than boring truths. That is just human nature. But awareness matters, understanding matters. And if this video helps even a few people think twice before sharing the next bombshell video, that is something. That is progress. Because here is the bottom line. We are in a battle for reality right now. A battle over what is true, what is real, what actually happened, versus what someone made up to get clicks and make money. And that battle is going to define our politics for years to come, maybe decades. The Barron Trump fake videos, they are just a symptom, a preview of what is coming, a warning sign of what the 2026 elections are going to look like. The question is, are we going to pay attention? Are we going to learn from this? Or are we going to keep falling for the same tricks over and over again? I know what I hope the answer is, but honestly, I am not sure. What I do know is this: the more we talk about it, the more we expose these operations, the harder we make it for them to succeed. So share this video, have these conversations, call out fake content when you see it, because the truth still matters, even when lies are easier to believe. That is going to do it for today. If you made it this far, thank you. Seriously, I appreciate you sticking with me through all of this. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this. Have you seen these fake Barron Trump videos? Did you believe them at first? I want to hear from you, and make sure you are subscribed, because we got a lot more to cover. This stuff is not slowing down anytime soon. I will see you in the next one.